Everything comes in its time. In a quiet village at the foot of a mountain, there lived a young apprentice named Taro. Every morning, he wandered through the forest, feeling the sunlight kiss the leaves and listening to the river as it wound its way over smooth stones. Yet Taro often felt restless. He wanted wisdom to arrive quickly. He wanted the fruits of his effort to bloom without delay. One day, his Zen master called him over. "Taro, why are you running after what has not yet come?" Taro lowered his gaze, unsure. "Master, I want to learn, to grow, but it feels like time is not on my side." The master smiled gently and pointed to a wildflower just beginning to open. "See this flower? It does not hurry, nor does it delay. Everything blooms in its own time. You too will bloom when your moment comes." Taro looked at the flower and felt a lightness in his heart. He realized that patience is not about waiting aimlessly. It is about trusting that life knows the perfect moment for everything. With a lighter heart, Taro walked slowly through the forest. Every step became mindful, every sound, the rustling leaves, the distant birdsong, seemed to teach him a lesson. He arrived at a clearing where bamboo shoots were stretching toward the sky. He remembered how the master had said that bamboo spends years growing underground before it emerges. Only when the time is right does it break the soil and grow rapidly. "Life is like this," Taro whispered. "I cannot force what is not yet ready." Sitting by the river, he watched a leaf drift gently on the water, realizing he too must flow with time, without resistance, accepting life's natural rhythm. In that moment, Taro felt a spark of peace. Impatience was transforming into trust. Days later, Taro received an invitation to participate in the temple's ceremony. Excitement surged within him, but so did anxiety. He wished to understand everything immediately, without waiting. The master observed him calmly. "Taro, deep understanding cannot be rushed. Just as a seed requires soil, water, and sunlight, your wisdom requires time and experience." Taro took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He remembered the flower, the bamboo, the drifting leaf. Every moment of learning, every small mistake, every pause, was part of life's perfect timing. That night, under the soft glow of the moon, Taro felt a tranquility he had never known. Patience was no longer an obstacle. It was a silent teacher guiding him toward growth. As days passed, Taro noticed the little details of the forest he had once overlooked. The hum of bees, the gentle sway of reeds, the way sunlight filtered through the leaves. One day, an elder from the village approached him and said, "Taro, sometimes we think time is our enemy, but in truth, it is a patient friend teaching us with care." Taro reflected on all the moments he had wanted to hasten his growth. Now he understood. Life neither hurries nor delays. Everything arrives at the exact moment it should. Sitting in silence, he discovered that time, far from being an obstacle, was a river gently carrying him toward his awakening. One morning, while helping in the temple garden, Taro watched lotus buds slowly opening in the pond. Each flower waited patiently, trusting the sunlight and the water that nourished it. The master approached. "Look at the lotus, Taro. It does not rush, it does not struggle. Every day brings it closer to its full bloom. In the same way, every experience, every setback, every joy prepares you to blossom in your own time." Taro smiled, serene. He realized that impatience does not accelerate growth. It only clouds the beauty of the present. Learning to wait was learning to trust in life's perfect timing. That evening, sitting beneath an ancient tree, Taro felt each breath remind him. Everything comes in its own time, and he was exactly where he needed to be. As the seasons changed, Taro noticed his inner world shifting. What had once unsettled him now passed with calm acceptance. What he had once rushed now he allowed to unfold naturally. One day, while walking among pine trees, he listened to the wind rustling through the branches. Every falling leaf, every swaying branch had its own timing and place. The master observed him. "You have learned the most important lesson, Taro, to trust the timing of life. There is no need to force anything. Everything comes when it is meant to, bringing its own wisdom with it." Taro closed his eyes and smiled. For the first time, he felt life as a gentle river, carrying him without resistance. Patience had become his most trusted companion. One evening, as the sun set behind the mountains, Taro reflected on all the times he had wished life would move faster. Learning, wisdom, peace. He realized that every experience, even hardships, had arrived at the exact moment he needed to grow. Every tear, every smile, every mistake had been a silent teacher guiding him toward understanding. The master sat beside him. "Now you understand, Taro. Life never makes mistakes. Everything comes in its time, and each moment you live is a step toward your own blossoming." Taro inhaled deeply. Impatience and anxiety dissolved, replaced by profound serenity and recognition that life, with its perfect rhythm, always knows what it is doing. By spring, Taro sat by the temple pond, watching the lotuses in full bloom. Patience, waiting, and trust had borne fruit. Every lesson, every experience had arrived at its perfect time. The master whispered beside him, "Remember, Taro, life never errs. Every moment, every challenge, every joy is part of your path. Flow with time and trust your own rhythm." Taro closed his eyes and smiled, feeling deep peace in his heart. He realized he did not need to rush. Life had its own pace, and he was exactly where he belonged. From that day forward, every step Taro took was mindful, serene, and filled with gratitude. His greatest lesson had arrived in its time. The wisdom of trust, the serenity of patience, and the joy of living each moment fully.